Good morning, darlings. Okay, this is the second lesson of this whole module. Yeah, okay, so this opens up into a link which I will post below. Get me, YouTuber. Well impressed with myself. Which I'll post below. So you need to go ahead and watch that video. And as you do, you need to take notes. And these should be about things that you find interesting or you think you might be useful, or just general stuff that you didn't know before that you think you might need to remember. Okay. Oh, that's my phone. I hope you didn't hear that. It's not like I have friends or anything. It's just, it's probably spam email. Anyway, right, so once you've done that, come back to this video and then we'll carry on. Okay, so the life of Charles Dickens is what you need to look at, and you can pause that and take notes. You don't have to just write at the speed of light. You can pause it, take notes, pause it, take notes, pause it, take notes, and then come back. Okay, so I'm going to assume that you've done that, hopefully, fingers crossed. And then we're going to go on to why do writers write? Okay, now, yes, this is me. Yes, this is what I used to look like when I was young and, didn't look constantly exhausted. So why do writers write? In case you didn't know, I am an author. I write. Okay, so why do writers write? And people ask me questions, and so I put them on my website. No, you can't find out the address. No, you can't read the books. You're far too young. But yes, I am an author. So what's the best thing about being a writer then? Well, for me, it's about the challenge. Okay, so this is what I've put on here. I mean, I won't read it all out word for word, but it might be a bit small on your screen, so I will give you an overview. So I love anything that makes my brain ache, that makes me think harder than usual, that forces me to learn about something new to include in my books, anything that makes me consider the nuance and connotations of what I'm writing, the challenge of making a comment on what I see as an issue in society by writing about it subtly in my work. These are the things I really enjoy about writing. Intelligent people need to give themselves a constant mental challenge in order to avoid boredom and tedium in their daily lives. I'm lucky to be intelligent, but I also work at it. To coin a famous phrase, I know that I know nothing. Rectifying that is part of the fun, but the more you know that you don't know, which only makes you want to know more. I hope that makes sense. So to give myself this opportunity, I write. I could, of course, take no ends of courses and gain numerous qualifications and be taught these things by professionals and experts, and I want to do that. But to allow myself to be adequately read for any of them in preparation, writing offers me an in terms of grasping a brief understanding of a range of subjects. It isn't just about writing a story, it's about learning about everything so that you can write well. Okay, so also having a creative outlet is a great source of calm and allows for stress relief from daily life. When you're a busy teacher like me, and all teachers are, it's nice to come to a break. It's nice to come to a break away from it all occasionally. Put your brain power to something equally as challenging, but in an entirely different skill set. All teachers can be academic writers. We've all had to do that for at least 2 degrees, but to write creatively is to put your brain to use to convey a message to others, putting words on a blank page and then painstakingly crafting them. And it is painstakingly. I'm not kidding. I'm amazed that I'm not grey. Painstakingly crafting them to convey a moral or a metaphor, to add in layers and layers of subtext or a secondary story, to criticize something you see wrong in society, or even to offer a message of hope in a plot or character is an extraordinary challenge, which takes years of skill and skill honing and practice. To do this is great. To do this well is the best part of being a writer. Okay, and then people ask me what I'm currently working on. I'm working on it's a dystopian social political protest about the dangers of isms. Okay, but then people ask me how I get inspired to write, and this is the relevant thing that I want you to consider when you look at the life of Charles Dickens. So I usually have something in my head that bugs me enough to write it down or write about it. I'm extremely opinionated, which is not always a good thing, but don't tell anybody I said that, and find that my opinions on issues in society bother me enough to want to criticize them. Sometimes that criticism is not negative. Occasionally, I'll champion something I think we should nurture. And it's this which makes me want to create a lasting message for others to consider. Literature is one of the best ways to enter a discourse, a conversation with others, most of whom I'll never meet, in order to get them to consider my ideas. And we're doing that now. So Dickens' Christmas Carol was published in 1843. That is a very, very long time ago. Very long time ago. 177 years ago. And we are still talking about his writing and the messages that his writing sent 177 years later. So writing is important, and that's why writers write. Okay, so what you need to do then is you need to think about everything you've learned about Dickens and everything you've learned about the Victorians and what was going on at the time from the homework that I set you, and then think about what his motives were and create a why plan, mind map, spider diagram, whatever you want to call it, for about maybe half a page, 3/4 of a page in your book, about why you think he wrote. What were the reasons for him writing? So when we did this in class, a lot of people said fame, money. And yeah, that might be a part of it. But why else? I want you to think big when you do this particular task. Okay? So go ahead and pause the video and then you can do that. And then come back. Okay, so what you need to do now then is you need to practice your academic writing. Okay, so in your books, write a paragraph. So you need to put all your notes into sentences, essentially, suggesting why Charles Dickens wrote novellas and novels such as Christmas Carol, Oliver Twist, and Bleak House. Now, if you're not sure what a novella is, it's a short novel. Okay, that's what that word means and how it's pronounced. Okay, so Helpful Harvey, he's very helpful, says, let's see if I can move this because Helpful Harvey is, there we go. Okay, there could be two ways to approach this. One, to look at what he could have learned or been affected by in his life, and two, to look at what he wanted to cause, create, or change, what his motivations were. So the first option, your sentence starter, if you're struggling, could be Charles Dickens could have written novellas such as Christmas Carol, Oliver Twist, Bleak House, and Bleak House because, and then you could say what it was that he'd experienced or learned or been affected by. Or if you're going for the higher marks and you want the stretch and challenge, you could say Charles Dickens could have written novellas such as A Christmas Carol, Oliver Twist, and Bleak House in order to, and then you fill in this with what he wanted to do. What was he wanting to cause or create or change by writing these novels and novellas, these stories? Okay, so that's the task for this lesson. Is there anything else for this lesson? No, there's nothing else for this lesson. We'll move on to something else shortly in the next video. Okay, so you want a paragraph. If you're feeling adventurous, maybe two. Okay, write those in your books, please. Make sure when you look at your what would have been a peer assessment. So if you're stuck at home for whatever reason, you can get parents to mark this for you. So have you explained yourself in full sentences? Have you given details about what Dickens might have learned or how it affected him? Or given accurate analysis of Dickens' motivations? Have you suggested what he wanted to change or create? And then if the person marking it for you can tell you what you did well and give you an even better if comment, then you can add it when you get your work back. I hope that makes sense. Okay, that's the end of this particular lesson. I will put the link down below for the first part. Get me, I'm a proper YouTuber. Woo-hoo. No, jokes, obs. Okay, like and subscribe. I'm joking. I am. Well, a little bit, maybe not. Stay safe and I'll see you soon.